Let you know.
Yes. Welcome to the Let You Know podcast. It's your boy EK in the building. We only going live on YouTube today.
Oh man. Oh man. Mr. Duke
Got the
Blue Devil
turn over
himself.
here.
Mr. Duke Blue Devil himself over there.
That's right, man. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
What's the deal, Cooper?
Ain't nothing, man. I mean, everybody has a bad game.
Yeah, but I mean, people were comparing him to Larry Bird. Larry Bird didn't have no bad game in the Final Four. He had a great game.
Man, stop it, dude. Listen, we just had this talk, son. We just had this talk, son. The only reason why that he's not going to be fully called Larry Bird is because he's not going to fully develop, man. He needs to stay in school for another
Larry
year.
Bird status. He got to get the Christian Laettner status before you get to Larry Bird status, and he can't even get there. Christian Laettner status is what I was hoping for.
Come on, man. You acting like he wasn't working out last night.
It was not working out last night. It was not working out last night. No, it didn't.
What you talking about, man? He had a good game last night. He had 30.
It didn't work. It didn't work out. It didn't work out is all I'm saying.
So, because he missed a couple shots at the end, so it didn't work out.
Hey, man, they lost. They lost.
How's that happen?
Upset. They got upset. On top of it, they're the number one seed. They're supposed to win. Everybody was bragging.
They're not the number one. They wasn't the number one overall seed. They was one of the number one seed, but they wasn't the number one overall seed.
No, I mean in their bracket. There's the number one team in their bracket, and they didn't do what they were supposed to do.
No, there's four. There's four number one seeds in four different brackets.
Were they number one in one of those brackets?
They were, but they was playing against another.
All righty then. All righty.
No, hold on. If you're gonna speak that, speak the real, because Houston also was a number one seed as well.
Yeah, but Houston ain't Duke, and Houston don't got Cooper Flag. The end all be all.
And they was at home too. They was at home. They was in San Antonio. That's not too far from Houston, sir. That's a home game for them. Yeah.
What's that got to do with having? You got Cooper Flag.
What that got to do? Wait. What that got to do? What that got to do? Don't act like home field advantage don't matter. Because if they wasn't close to home, you think they would have made that comeback?
I don't know. We'll never know. All I know is Flag is supposed to not let that comeback happen.
No, I don't know about that, man. Shit happens.
Not to Larry.
We didn't see LeBron James come back from a 3-1 deficit. We didn't see
great players.
We didn't see Stephen Curry lose it. We didn't see Stephen Curry lose a 3-1 series.
Yeah,
we didn't see Kevin Durant lose
a 3-1 series. Shooter. And y'all still call him the best shooter y'all done seen, which is wild.
He is.
Which is ridiculous.
He is.
Couldn't even get one game. One game.
But he's got rings. He's got rings, sir. He's got rings, right?
So shout out to all the Blue Devils, man. Maybe next year, man. Maybe next year for y'all, you know?
Oh, yeah, we'll be ready next year. We got the Boozer twins coming in, so oh, yeah, we ready. We ready to go. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We'll get rid of some people, and we'll reload again like we always do, man. We're Duke.
Speaking of white boys.
We don't die, we multiply.
Speaking of white boys, did you see that highlight I sent you with Şengün dunking on Holmgren the other night?
I did not get to see it yet. Yeah, man.
Oh, man, that motherfucker, that was a nasty play. These white boys out here.
No, I'm going to tell you what's nasty. That dude Martin for Florida, He dunked on 2 people against Auburn.
I didn't.
That was a dunk for that.
I didn't watch that.
I know.
Didn't pay any attention to that guy, whoever Martin is. Sorry, Mr. Martin.
And shout out to Walter Clayton Jr. Oh man, he had a great game too, man. He hit clutch bucket after clutch bucket after clutch bucket. Shout out to Walter Clayton Jr. He did his thing.
Clayton Jr. Never heard of that nigga. Well, back to the white
like this.
Back to the white boys. The white boys is taking over the world, man. You got the white boy dominating college. You got the white boys dominating the NBA. What's up? What's wrong with niggas, man? Why niggas can't get it together? What's wrong with
them? You asking me?
I mean, I just want to know if you had an opinion on it. Why do you think the black players aren't better than the white? Why are the white players better than black players now?
Because it seemed like white players actually work on their basketball game. They actually got fundamentals. I mean, I think that's what's lost in our culture as far as learning the game of basketball. Our fundamentals is not always good. We feel like as long as we got athleticism or greater athleticism than half of our high school players or players that's in our high school basketball team or the teams that we playing against, they feel like athleticism will take you a long way. Like it's to the point where nowadays in the NBA, you don't even really have to learn how to play defense. If you can score in the league, you gonna make it to the league. You're gonna make it to the league, definitely. Ask Carmelo Anthony. He built his career and his reputation off scoring and not playing any defense. And now he's in the Hall of Fame.
I'm sure there's others as well. There's a lot of players. I don't think defense is important.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think defense is important, but individually, no. As an individual player, when it comes to the NBA, your defense is going to come from the team. Again, you could be the best defender in the world, but if your team sucks, it doesn't matter. Just like you saw Syracuse win the championship with Carmelo playing that zone. The fact that his teammates could play that zone defense didn't even matter how bad of a defender he was.
That's what I'm saying. He learned.
Steph Curry, for example, or Steph Curry for all the championships he got. You could be a bad defender, but as long as your team got your back, or you got somebody else that can, it's not the end all be all. It's a team sport.
No, offense is king. Offense is king in the NBA. Like I said, if you can score on offense, you're going to make it to the league. That's why when I brought up, or when we was talking about Walter Clayton Jr. and his performance that he had against Auburn the other night, I mean, the way I was watching it, I was like, yeah, this performance right here is going to take him to the league. And what's sad where Cooper Flagg is that even though as talented as he is, man, he can't do everything by himself. And that's the sad thing about it, man. He can't do everything on his own.
I don't think nobody can. But when you're when you're expected to win and you're a Duke Blue Devil. Blue comes with the respect on it, like the Lakers or the Celtics does. Like before the game, remember I told you, I said I don't think it would be much of a story if they won. It's more of a story if they lost.
But there's been plenty of times Duke had talented players on their team and they didn't win the championship. Look at Zion Williams. They whole starting five went to the NBA league and they didn't win no championship. So, I mean, look at Darren Williams. Darren Williams, he wasn't even the best player on his team, and they went undefeated, and they lost to the championship game after they was undefeated the whole season and they lost one game, and that was the championship game. But then when he got to the league, he was one of the best point guards that we ever seen. You know what I'm saying?
How many
And D
finals?
Brown,
How many finals did he get to?
I don't
In the
think he got
NBA?
to any. I don't
No.
think he got to any because he was in Utah. So you know that how that story goes.
Yeah, you're running into Kobe Bean Bryant a lot, is what it sounds like.
I mean, but he wasn't no scrub though. I mean, hey,
no. Nobody in the NBA is a scrub.
a lot of teams, lot of teams ran into the Lakers and Kobe Bean Bryant and couldn't finish them off, especially when he was healthy.
Luka put a show on
Yeah,
SGA. Everybody, SGA is SGA. That Luka out here putting a show on. 30 points, taking everybody that
just
want
him
to guard
though.
him to the hole. Why SGA don't want to guard Luka? Why he running from Luka? I don't see many. They put a lot of. They switch a lot.
You gotta ask him. You gotta ask them that, man. You know it's all about matchups. It's all about how.
That's why I think when it comes down to the get down, them Lakers can beat anybody, but they're gonna have to play immaculate. And that's saying it can't be done. I seen Luka drag. I seen Luka do it. I seen him do it.
It really just depends on where they seeded at. To me, I would rather face OKC in the conference final than I would rather see them in the second round. I just think the Lakers got a better chance at beating them in the conference finals than playing them in the second round of the playoffs.
To me, it don't even matter. If Luka show up, it don't even matter.
He can show up.
Third round.
He can show up. He show up a lot of time, but that don't necessarily mean it equates to wins all the time.
Playoff Luka's different. Playoff Luka's different. Playoff Luka's different. He finds a way.
It's only been one time. He only got to where he got to one time, man. We got to see it more than once, though. So playoff Luka, yeah, we know he can score, but like I said, man, they don't always equate to wins at all the time. To me, sometimes it's back and forth, really. Most of his series usually be back and forths. I win one, you win one. I win one, you win one. I want to actually see him dominate one like he did last year against Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? I need to see more games like that from Luka and the teams that's led by Luka.
Well, you might have should have watched tonight then, because it looked a little bit like that. LeBron James only had 20 points.
Man, so now regular season wins matter to you now today, huh?
Oh no, I mean, like I said, it's not going to change position, but the way Luka be doing these boys, oh my God.
What do he be doing? What do he be doing, man?
Embarrassing these niggas, man. Embarrassing these niggas.
That's because OKC didn't do what they. That's because OKC didn't do what they were supposed to do. They must have held back because Golden State showed you the blueprint how to beat the Lakers with Luka Doncic.
I don't think there is a blueprint for Luka Doncic. I think the best thing to do with Luka is, like what the Celtics did, is play him one-on-one, hope you don't get 40, and make sure you don't get 40 and 10. That's all you can really do. But once that jumper,
he's gonna get his numbers.
Huh?
He's gonna get his numbers just like Jokic is, man. But the talent around him, like you said, it equates to trash. Equal trash basket.
It's not
Denver
about
too, man. If Jokic don't come through, man, Denver's I don't really like Denver.
I think it's about Denver's players playing at the. I just don't think that. I think everybody's been playing well except Jamal Murray and Michael Porter.
But that's what I'm saying, man. If these guys won championships together. And these are the guys that you're supposed to be relying on and leaning on, and these are the ones that's inconsistent. And we can't always expect Jamal Murray to come and play great in the playoffs and shit, because you know it's just like it's like with Jimmy Butler. We expect Jimmy Butler to always play good in the playoffs too, but sometimes he don't always play that great.
It's just like a different level of focus that they have in the playoffs. And I just think if Denver's this good without them two playing well, if they come along, then niggas is in trouble.
I don't even think it's Denver playing good. I think it's just one guy making the whole team look good.
He makes the people look good that can't make themselves look good. But Jamal Murray can make himself look good. Aaron Gordon can make himself look good. Everybody else pretty much feeds off. They got their nucleus. They just, like you said, plug and play off their nucleus.
Yeah, because they don't even really play like that. They don't really play like that. Not lately. I know Jamal Murray's been hurt, so realistically, Jamal Murray really ain't been playing.
That's what I'm saying. He ain't been playing well, and they still playing a good brand of basketball without him or Michael Porter Jr. having a good season. So if they can play a little bit better, you never know where they go. They snap out of it at the right time.
But I think Denver got one of the talented. I mean, they got the one of the most talented back starting fives in the league, and they should be way better than what they are now. I mean, Michael Porter Jr., I just feel like if he was consistent enough, like we expect him to be, they team dynamic would be a whole lot better. We would look at them a whole lot better too.
Right. No, I agree. I just don't feel like
even with Jamal Murray.
Huh?
Even with Jamal Murray, it's like we give him a pass in the regular season, but then we expect him to be this great guy in the playoffs. And then if he let us down, then what?
I mean, if you let them down, you let them down. They can't win without it. I think they need Jamal and Jokic to win it to playing a high level. Jokic can get you far though. Jokic by himself.
Because he ain't no. Yeah, because Jamal Murray ain't no all-star, man. So
he can't be.
And because he ain't no all-star, I mean, he got a lot of guys in front of him to where he can't be an all-star. It's just like with Carmelo Anthony not being on the first team. It's like, man, you got too many players that's in his same position that people. I'm just saying, like, if you think about it, the reason why Carmelo Anthony has never been first team is because, man, if you think about all the players that's in his position, they all like Hall of Famers damn near.
No, you're right. I do think though that there's some years where Jamal Murray should have made it over Steph Curry, but because it's a popularity contest, Steph Curry makes it automatically. But there's a few years.
Man, I don't know what you talking about. Nah, you should pick somebody else besides Stephen Curry because he should always make it.
No, I disagree. That's what I'm saying. You're going off of his name. You're not going off of the way he was playing in them seasons where they were getting bounced in the fucking play-in tournament by Memphis. Whatever year that was, I guarantee you Jamal Murray had a better year that year than Stephen Curry. But Stephen Curry is going to make it off his name. So I think there's some years where he could have made it, but they're not going to let him make it because he's playing behind Steph and Luka.
Now, I disagree with that because Stephen Curry is the most important piece on Golden State. So without him, they ain't going to be shit. So,
but dog, I just told you they was in the play-in tournament and they lost in the play-in tournament. They lost to Memphis in the play-in tournament and they lost to the Lakers in the play-in tournament. Those 2 years, I bet you Denver was balling. I'm willing to bet you all season they was balling and all playoffs.
I don't disagree with you on that, but
so how could Steph Curry be an all-star those years over Jamal Murray outside of him just being Steph Curry?
Just because his team was down that year, that don't mean that Stephen Curry wasn't balling. He was the most important piece on that team. Even if without Stephen Curry, they wouldn't have made no play-in tournament.
So it don't even matter. So now it don't even matter. Now, as long as you balling, you should be an all-star. Fuck your scoring record. Fuck your team record. It don't even matter no more.
No, that's not what I said, man. What I'm saying,
you did just say that. You said that Stephen Curry might have been balling still. That's what you said, which deserves him to be an all-star, even though that his team was in the play-in tournament and lost. Like his team was terrible that season, and Denver's was good. So you're saying that Steph Curry deserves it,
but it wasn't. Yeah, but they wasn't not because of Jamal Murray. It was more 75% Jokic than 15 or 10% Murray. Now, when it comes to Golden State that year, I can definitely say it was 65% Curry and maybe 45% of the rest of the team. That's the difference, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like Jamal Murray don't be scoring like that.
So when the Celtics got 3 or 4 All-Stars, what does that mean? Or when Jalen Williams and whoever OKC puts in there having the best record, what does that mean?
That means that's a different case because those type of guys, they only got one shot to play good a season. You know what I'm saying? Now when you talking about name recognition, yeah, now that makes a difference because when you're talking about, say, for instance, who's on it? I can't even think. Damn, my name slipped. Like, who's a point guard? Holiday. You know what I'm saying? Holiday benefited off having a great year with the Celtics, so he made the All-Star team. You know what I mean? But it just so happens that he was on the East. Now, if he was on the West, then I could see him.
But like you said, but hold on, like you said, he benefited. He made the All-Star team because he benefited off of how well the Celtics did. The same way Jamal Murray should have benefited off of how well Denver did, but he didn't. However, Steph Curry's making the All-Star team as a play-in tournament team.
Yeah, because who else was benefiting off that Golden State team besides Stephen Curry? He was the only one. It
don't matter. Whatever he was doing didn't equivalent to.
It do matter.
He was playing bad. They were losing.
It do matter because if you think about Golden State, you ain't thinking about nobody else but Stephen Curry because he's the only one really putting in work. I mean, as far as scoring, he's the only guy putting in work.
So
he's
what?
Literally the only guy putting in work. He might get. He might get. No. You can't say so what if he's the main guy scoring and Jamal Murray is not the main guy scoring. He has somebody that's putting in over 70% of their offense. The reason why he's benefiting. It's only
that's what I just said about
benefiting off of Stephen Curry.
But that's what we just said about Boston. We just said the same thing about Boston. These people are benefiting. You just said Jrue Holiday's benefiting off of what?
Yeah, but who is Stephen Curry benefiting off the Golden State Warriors?
No. You said Jrue Holiday's benefiting off of the Celtics. That's how he made the All-Star.
Yeah, because he has Jaylen Brown and he has Jason Tatum. Now you tell me on Golden State team. Besides,
stop bringing up Golden State. We're not there yet. You're going too fast. Boston, Jrue Holiday benefits from Boston.
I'm not going too fast, man.
But the other player, Jamal Murray, does not benefit from Denver. That's what you're telling
me. No, he's not. Because you know why? If he was benefiting off Denver, then the guys that in his position, he would be able to get over on to make the All-Star team. Does that make sense?
It sounds good.
It's
but
like
it's
this. Evan was the best player.
Jrue Holiday did not have a better year than other point guards. Did he play better than Cade Cunningham in the East?
You're missing the point. You're missing the point.
No, I'm not. No, I think I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not missing the point.
You are. you're going by Jrue Holiday. When I was making the case for Jrue Holiday is a third option.
Why is he on the All-Star team? And why is he on the All-Star team? Why is Jrue Holiday on the All-Star team over Cade Cunningham?
One option. Stephen Curry is the number one option.
Stop bringing Steph into this. We're not bringing Steph into this right now.
That's who we're talking about.
No, we're not. No, we're not. Why is Jrue Holiday? Listen. Why is Jrue Holiday on the All-Star team over Cade Cunningham? Why?
You said, why is Jrue Holiday over Cade Cunningham? I don't have the answer for that.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm not talking about him. You said Jamal Murray should have taken over Stephen Curry's spot at the time. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm talking about Stephen Curry is the number one option, and Jamal Murray is not.
Is Cade Cunningham? Hey, okay, stop right there. Is Cade Cunningham the number one option?
He is.
Yes. Is Jrue Holiday the number one option? Is Jrue Holiday the number one option?
He made the All-Star team this year. He made
Jrue Holiday. I'm not talking about this year. I'm talking about when Jrue Holiday was an All-Star. Cade Cunningham was the number one player on the Detroit Pistons, right?
Was they terrible last year?
That's what I'm trying to say. Steph Curry was terrible. You're agreeing. Listen. You're so biased. You're so biased towards Steph Curry that you're agreeing with it on one side and disagreeing on the other side. It's the same thing.
You just answered your own question when it comes to Cade Cunningham. Did you just answer your own question? Do anybody who's on a terrible team really makes the All-Star team? Do they really?
That's what I just brought up about Steph.
I'm saying. Listen.
No, you listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. You just said that there should be nobody on the All-Star team. You just said there should be nobody on the All-Star team from a terrible team. However, when Steph's team is not good, it's okay because he's the best player on the team and he's the number one option. That's what you're saying.
No. The difference is that Stephen Curry and them made it to the play-in, so they wasn't that bad. Cade Cunningham, they were the worst team in the league. They were the worst team in the league.
The play-in tournament means you're like the 10th seed out of 12.
No, listen. Now you're getting them confused. I'm not talking about this year. I'm talking about the year you was talking about.
I am too.
They made it. That year, when Cade Cunningham was doing his thing, they were the worst team in the year. And plus, he didn't even average over 20 points a game that year.
So we're going to act. So we're going to act like we're going to battle who's the worst team.
Yes. I would have voted for Jrue Holiday that year over Cade Cunningham. Yes, I would have. Yes, I would.
So then, why would you not? So then why would you not vote for Jamal Murray over Steph Curry the year that Steph Curry's team sucks and Jamal Murray's team is balling?
Because you getting confused with suck and somebody actually making the team be relevant. Because if he wasn't on that
play-in
tournament,
tournament,
nigga. Again. When you're talking about Detroit, they wasn't nowhere near the play-in tournament. When you're talking about Cade Cunningham should have been there. They were the bottom team. I mean, they were the worst team. Now we're not.
They both suck.
Now we're talking about Golden State.
I'm not here to compare. I'm not here to compare who's the ugliest girl. They're both ugly. I'm not here to say who's the ugliest. They're both ugly. Period. They're both trash.
That's not true, because if you had to choose, if you were choosing between one ugly girl, you're going to choose the one that you think is the cutest out of the ugly girls.
No, they both ugly, nigga. There ain't no cute involved. They both ugly. There is no cute.
I'm gonna go back to what your brother always said.
And the Warriors suck. But it's okay for Golden State to get an All-Star and suck, but it's not okay for the Pistons to get an All-Star and suck.
You literally just answered your own question on why Cade Cunningham didn't make it that year over Jrue Holiday. You just answered your own question.
My question is, the reason I asked that question is because it's going against everything that you're saying. You're
It's
agreeing
not,
on it
dude.
one
It's
side, but you're
not.
disagreeing
It's
on the
not.
other side.
It's
And your
not. You
reason for
acting like
agreeing
the
with it is
plan.
because this team was sad, but this team was really, really sad. That's crazy.
But
That's
yeah,
crazy.
that does make a difference, right? Because
No,
you're not
they
going to
both
talk about
suck.
it. No, it doesn't. Because you're going to talk about that team who actually has a chance to be in the play-in or the playoffs more than you would talk about a team that's in the bottom that ain't going to do shit.
They both ain't gonna do shit. They both terrible teams.
No. See, that's what I'm saying. It ain't just black and white. Like you're trying to make it be. It's not, dude. And you know there's politics when it comes to this.
Why would a play-in tournament team be considered an all? Why would a player?
Team,
why would a player be getting props for being a play-in team?
They do it all the time, man. I mean, it's better.
Who celebrates
in
being a play-in team?
LeBron was in the play-in. Stephen Curry was in the play-in. John Moran was in the play-in. Zion was in the play-in. All these guys, no. Obviously, they didn't suck because they were still talking about these guys. When it comes to
about
the
player,
when it comes to Cade Cunningham winning 11 wins and 64 losses, that makes a totally difference than a team actually fighting in the play-in. That makes a difference. Don't act like it don't, fam. Don't act like it don't. Just because both of them was weak.
They both don't deserve to be all-stars, fam. They both don't deserve to be all-stars.
You know it does, dude. You can't argue with me about it because you know it does. That's something that you argue with yourself about because you know it does. You know it does.
Why would two bad teams? Two bad teams, neither one of them deserve to be an all-star.
Bad teams when one team made it to the playoffs.
The play-in, nigga, not the playoff, not the playoff, the play-in, nigga. That means you're the bottom of the bottom, my nigga. You suck.
No, they wasn't both at the bottom.
You comparing a terrible team to a really terrible team. Bottom line is they both terrible, and nobody deserves to be an all-star, nigga. You just choosing it because you love Steph Curry. You choosing it because you love Steph Curry. That's what it is, my nigga. You loving Steph Curry so much that nigga can be bad and still make the all-star team.
Say that.
Cade Cunningham can be bad and not make the all-star team. That's what you're saying, bro.
Man. Just say that's what you're saying. Just say you don't like Stephen Curry.
This ain't got nothing to do with me liking Stephen Curry. This is about it being a bias
of somebody being on the bottom team and then some team
compared to a nigga being on the top. Compared to Jamal Murray being on the top. Compared to Jamal Murray being at the top. You're giving more props to a play-in nigga. You're giving more props to a play-in nigga than a nigga that's in the top of the Western Conference.
If you thought they was weak, they was still in the middle of the pack, right?
That's crazy. No, the play-in is not the middle, nigga. No. The play-in is not the middle.
Is the playing 7th and 8th seeds?
No.
What? Wait, huh? Say that
That's
again.
The playoff. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand.
Wait.
Shut up.
No, wait.
Shut up.
Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said?
Say it again. Say it again.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, I know you're not. I know you're not gonna say that shit again. It's recorded though. It's recorded though.
I know you understand what I'm trying to say. And
I understand everything you're saying, and it's ridiculous.
You can't make that comparison like both of them was two weak teams because they wasn't.
They were.
One was a horrible team, and one made it in the play-in tournament. And regardless of how you feel,
I understand. I understand that. The play-in tournament is for terrible teams. The play-in tournament is for bad. That's for teams that didn't make the playoffs. There was no such thing as a play-in tournament.
You don't like it.
You just keep talking over me, so you're not listening. So I'm gonna have to mute him. What I'm trying to get you to understand is the play-in tournament is for teams that didn't make the playoffs. That means they're not good, right? Correct. So they're a bad team. Then you got another guy that won 11 games. They're terrible too. But you're
Now he should mute himself because he's talking nonsense. There's no fucking way that a team is in the bottom of the league and then you expect a team that's in the middle of the map of the playoffs to be weak.
How are you in the middle if you're? How are you in the middle if you're in under the top 10? How are you in the middle if you're in the play-in? How are you in the middle if you're in the play-in? Answer that. Answer that.
Only Evan will compare those two teams.
Answer this. Answer how can you be in the middle of?
Only Evan will compare those two teams together. Only Evan will. Like that.
We can't get an answer. We just need one answer. How are you in the middle of the pack if you're in the play-in tournament? Explain that. If we can't explain that, we can't have a conversation. Because you're just talking.
I didn't explain it. What you is, you don't want to understand the logic.
When? Say it right now. Say it right now. Say it right now. Say it right now.
Like just because Golden State was in a play-in tournament, like they're not a better team than the Detroit Pistons.
That's not what I asked. I didn't say that. I said, how are you in the play? No, I did not. No, I did not. That's why you're not listening. Just listen. Just listen. Stop talking so much and listen, because you're hearing it wrong. What I said is, how are you in the play-in tournament, but you're in the middle of the pack? That makes no sense. Middle of the pack would mean that you're fighting for maybe the 5th seed, maybe the 6th or 4th seed. That would be in the middle of the pack. The play-in tournament is like the 10th seed, my nigga. The 10th and 9th seed that's outside of the playoffs.
Are you done? Because I can definitely explain that, because you're wrong. It's not just the 9th and 10th seed. It's the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Now, you can go check that if you want to. And in the old format, 7th and the 8th seeds are still in the playoffs in the old format. The only difference is the 9th and the 10th seed. Okay, so what are you talking about? So
that's not the middle of the pack. That's not the middle of the pack. That's the bottom of the playoffs.
It is. Are they playing extra games? Yes or no? Are they playing extra games? Yes or no?
What do you mean extra games?
If they're in the play-in, are they playing extra games? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, that's my point. So there's no way they can be compared to any Detroit Pistons team being one of the worst teams in the league just because you feel like the play-in ain't shit. That don't mean nothing. That's your opinion. But at the same time, the play-in is the middle of the pack. It is. Because if it wasn't, they would be staying at home just like the Detroit Pistons did when you was talking about Cade Cunningham should have been an all-star because their team was terrible. They was in the bottom of the league. The bottom, the very bottom.
What were those seeds again? What were those seeds again? One through what again?
So hard to understand.
Because it's simple math. That's what I don't understand. You said the seeds are from 1 to 10, right?
You're not mathing it up.
Listen. You said those seeds are 1 to 10, right?
No. I said 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. That's what I said.
So that means it goes from 10 seed to 1 seed, right? That means there's 10 seeds, right?
No. If we're talking about play-in, then it's the 7th.
It starts at 1.
8th,
as far as the whole playoffs, it goes 1 through 10. So if you're in the middle of the pack, what's in the middle of 10?
Not Detroit was when you said that Cade Cunningham was supposed to get it. They was at the very bottom. They didn't have a chance.
I understand
That's what I'm saying. That's what makes the difference with them and Golden State. And then when I was trying to make the comparison about Stephen Curry being the number 1 option, and you said because they was weak, but they made the play-in, so they not that weak.
The play-in is it's not good. That's not a good thing.
In your eyes, it's not good. That's what I'm saying. That's your opinion.
What team wants to be in the play-in tournament? What team is aiming to be in the? What team is trying to be in the play-in tournament? Tell me what team. Tell me what team at the beginning of the season. Tell me what team at the beginning of the season is aiming to be in the play-in tournament.
It don't matter.
Whose goal is that?
Because it don't matter. Your opinion is you don't like the play-in. You feel like the play-in is not a playoff team. I get it.
Because it's not.
But that's your opinion. Because if you think about it, you ask anybody else, they said the play-in is good enough. But if you're talking about Detroit, who's at the bottom of the league, that's different. Again,
you're right, it's different. There's a difference, but they're both not good teams. Neither one of them deserve to be an all-star. You're at the bottom of the pack, and you're at the very bottom of the pack. That's why I said, why does Jrue Holiday get to get an all-star when he's not the first option, not even the second option, right?
Yeah, he's not.
He's not. But you can have a first option, but you can be the first option.
He played better than Cade Cunningham, though.
That's cool. I could use another name, but let's just say it's another Eastern guard point guard that didn't make it with a better record. Bottom line is, it's because of you got it off of the team's record. But Jamal Murray, the whole point is it's not working for Jamal Murray. They don't care about how well Denver's playing with Jamal Murray. It all started with about 2 of those years where Jamal Murray was balling and Steph Curry and then was in the play-in tournament. Jamal Murray could have been an all-star those years. That's where this all started.
But there's other players besides Steph and Curry, though. So why he didn't take their spot?
Because the other one is Luka.
I'm saying we just singling out Steph and Curry, but there's other guys. So he didn't take Steph and Curry's spot. What about the other guy's spot? I mean, there's other guys that he could have made it over, but we're not talking about them either. So all I'm saying is that, man, when you talking about I love Stephen Curry. I like Stephen Curry, but he's not the end all be all. But what I'm saying is that you can't sit up there and say that Jamal Murray plays better than Stephen Curry in any season. Now playoffs maybe, because they know he plays better in the playoff. But as far as regular season, no. Even that time when they was in the playing, 75 or 70% of that offense was Joker. How much percent of that was Jamal Murray in that season? There's no need to get upset. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense that you're going to compare Detroit and Cade Cunningham when they was the worst team in the league that year, but you want to say Stephen Curry was just as bad. They made the play-in. It doesn't matter how bad you thought they were. They made the play-in. They had a chance to win a championship. Even though they didn't win, they still had a chance to win. So what are we talking about? It doesn't make any sense. So if anybody else that's watching today, if you can answer that question for me, please let me know. Let you know EK out. Holla.
Let you know.